Hey, I'm Herald sports writer Manny Navarro.
And I'm Fernandez.
And welcome to round 3. All right, Dre, so let's go ahead and look at the playoffs this week. I know you went 8-0 last week, so you're going to be right again this week. The perfect record. I screwed up. I know.
Same intensity, like the great Michael Irvin said.
Let's start in 8A, where we got a baseball regional final, feels like. Wellington coming down to take on Flanagan. Two traditional baseball powers, all of a sudden they're football powers. Yeah,
all of a sudden, you look at what the job Devin Bush and those guys have done. We've said it countless times during the course of the season. And Wellington's done pretty well in their own right, 11-1. This is not going to be a free pass into the state semis for Flanagan. They better show up. They better play. Like you saw last week, they had moments of inconsistency there, especially on offense. If they get it all together, though, I think Flanagan makes it to the state semifinals for the first time.
One thing I want to say, give credit to Flanagan's defense. He ended up losing Devin Bush Jr., who's your leader, the heart and soul of that defense. Yeah. And they come through and they were really sound tackling. That's what I really liked about Flanagan.
Yeah.
I think they do that again. I'm picking them to win this week.
That's good coaching, too.
Yeah, it's good coaching. All right, the other 8A game, Killian, Columbus. This is the game I'm going to be at this week. You're not going to be here. You're going to be on the road with Booker T. What do you think of this matchup?
To me, it's a coin flip game because, if you look at it weeks ago, it was all Killian for me because of the fact that their defense has been so stellar, those playmakers. You look at Jaquan Johnson. It seems like every game they're getting a special team score, a defensive pick six, something. What worries me still a little bit is that offense. It seems like they get rolling in the third quarter, but they need their D to hang on for dear life for the first 2 quarters just to give them the chance to happen. So it's going to be difficult. Columbus has been putting the whole package together lately. We saw it. They thoroughly dominated Coral Gables.
To me, it really all comes down to Ivan Smith, the junior. He's a talented tailback for Columbus. I think when he gets the ball in his hands a lot, he can do some special things. If Columbus goes the other way and they put it in Tucker Burns' hands and say, okay, you throw against this talented secondary, I don't know if anybody can throw against Killian's secondary. So to me, that's really what the game's going to come down to is what kind of success does Columbus have running the football and can Killian get on the scoreboard? They score a whole lot of defensive touchdowns. I think that's really what it's going to come down to. I'm going to pick Killian. This game's being played down at Southridge. It's not at Tropical Park. That's a tiny field, a lot of loud people. I think, and I'll tell you what, Jaquan Johnson, who's headed to the University of Miami, I spoke to him yesterday. Coming off that loss to Virginia, I asked him, how do you feel about the Canes? The only thing he's worried about right now is beating Columbus. So to me, when that kid is 100% zeroed in on the game, he's unstoppable. I think that Killian defense is going to be the difference.
Yeah, it really could go either way. To me, honestly, I could pick either one. And I could go 50-50. I don't even know. I could.
You'll make your decision in the paper.
Let's do it that way. How about that?
7A, St. Thomas Aquinas hosting Royal Palm Beach. Dre, this Royal Palm Beach team, can they? You gave the stat earlier about St. Thomas blowing everybody out. Is this going to be a game?
It's slightly better than what St. Thomas has been doing lately, and that's a credit to Royal Palm Beach. Got some good players over there. Third round. Willie Bueno, the coach, used to be at Glade Central forever. He's turned that program around, but this is a whole different monster at St. Thomas Aquinas right now. I picked them by 3 touchdowns.
All right.
As opposed to winning by 5 or 6, what they've been doing to everybody else.
You went 8-0 last week. I'm not disagreeing with you this week. 6A, Miami Central going on the road to Palm Bay Heritage. Really, I want to say this is kind of a trap game a little bit because everybody knows the monster is supposed to be Daytona Beach Mainland a week from now. And Central kind of came out unfocused against Holliday. What do you think this week?
Here's what I think. They may have a slow start because they're on the road, but I think they're going to win. 2 reasons. Their defense and the fact that they've already played big-time quarterbacks in these playoffs. They took out Lamar Jackson. Started slow against Tyler Huntley, but recovered, put a lot of pressure on him. Game was over at that point. Now they're going to face another kid, Deshaun Mills from Heritage. It's very good. I think the same thing. Maybe they could get a little shocked, maybe a drive or 2 at the beginning. Once they make a few adjustments, Central rolls. Yeah,
the formula keeps working. Defense and running the ball. And they got 2 special backs back there at Central. Yeah. I'm picking the Rockets, obviously. All right, 5A, Plantation American Heritage, taking on a guy who knows Broward County pretty well.
Yeah.
Coach at Island Coast is coming down. He coached at Booker T.
Wayne Blair.
Boyd Anderson last year, yeah.
They miss him this year, though.
Yeah. Do they have a chance of knocking off Heritage?
They don't, but again, it's another case similar to Royal Palm Beach. You look at what Wayne Blair's done. They've done a great job in year 1. That program is on the rise with him. But again,
Torrance Gibson
and company, different kind of monster. They're battle-tested. They're ready to make a run to Orlando and win it again. I'm going with Heritage.
All right, the game of the week, because I think without question this is going to be the best game. Booker T. Washington going on the road to Cocoa. You'll be up there for that game. Dre, I was there 2 years ago. Booker T. blew them off the field. Coach Harris will tell you himself, this is a better Cocoa team than the one they faced the last 3 years.
Yeah.
How do you think this one shapes up?
Well, it's going to be a battle. I think it goes back to the first meeting in terms of it's going to possibly go down to the wire. This is a hostile environment. Not that Booker T's not used to that. They've traveled, they've gone out-of-state games for this reason, to face these hostile teams. Really, the experience of Cocoa, I've heard some people say this is where the streak ends. I don't think so. I think they find a way to do it, but two things. The veterans have to step up. The guys like Mark Walton that did it last week have to step up, and the new guys who have not been in this type of game before are going to make the difference. The Maurice Alexanders, the Devontae Davises, those are the guys that have to come through and make big plays like they have all year in this type of a game. If they do, we're looking at not only 39, I'll just go a week ahead. I'm looking at 40 in a row in another championship.
One thing I will say to Booker T and to Coach Harris, start fast. You can't have this slow start like you had last week against Glade Central.
No, against Cocoa they have to.
This Cocoa team, they get up early on you. They put the pressure. The crowd gets. That is a tough place to play.
They know
there.
that, and they obviously know that from like I said, from the experience of going out of state and having these road games. They know how important it is to play well, especially early on.
I got the T squeaking by. They're gonna find a way to win.
There you go.
All right, that wraps it up for our picks. We'll see you next week.